Welcome back to Soul Eater Anime Review. This is part 5. This one I'm reviewing the Soul Eater Not anime. It is adapted from a 42 chapter manga, and I looked this up. Unlike Soul Eater, which is published monthly, this one was published weekly over the course of 3 months. Yep. And also unlike Soul Eater, this one managed to adapt pretty much the whole series and didn't cut anything out, didn't deviate from the manga, stuff like that. And it did feature the main protagonists of Soul Eater, like Maka, Soul, Blackstar, Sabaki, Death the Kid, Liz and Patty. Liz and Patty did play a limited role in quite a few of the episodes, but as for everybody else, like Maka, well, she appeared for a few episodes. Tabaki does nothing aside from appearing in, like, briefly in the pilot and appearing a couple times in the series finale. Maka is just there, just being just a minor character. I mean, this series essentially it's a prequel. Despite the fact it's a prequel, it focuses on 3 different characters. Well, there is a character who's based upon the character Misery from the Stephen King film Misery, and very similar, and she's the housekeeper. Now, the 3 main characters of the series are Tagumi, voiced by Brian April. Byron April, I think it's the pronounced name. She voiced Krista Lenz from Attack on Titan, also known as Hysteria Ross, Melody from Fairy Tail, and Shirashi from One Piece. Anya, who is a princess, voiced by Alexis Tipton, who voiced Mina Corellia in Attack on Titan, and Mimi Tatsuni is voiced by Lindsay Sato, who voiced Eto from Tokyo Ghoul. Yep. And this one we also get a chance to see how two particular, let's just say, sets of characters of how the partnerships form. Like Kim and Jacqueline, you get a chance to see the formation of their partnership, and, well, when Death the Kid, now pretty much in the final episode, that's when Death the Kid picked Liz and Patty as his weapons. Yeah, and when the episode when Jacqueline becomes Kim's weapon, it's a bit odd of an episode. Like, it's implied that she's sexually attracted to her. Like, there's this dream sequence where they're fighting in, like, this, I don't know, looks like kind of like the Grand Canyon, and they land on top of the water, and then the dream ends with them about to make out. I'm like, wow. That's the thing about Soul Eater or Not. This one explores, like, a lot of, it feels like there's implied lesbian stuff in here and there, and also the series has got a lot more fan service than Soul Eater does. Yeah, like, it seems like for this particular series, unlike Soul Eater, which had some fan service here and there, Soul Eater Not has got a bunch of it. I mean, wow. Well, you do get a chance to see a bunch of characters without their clothes on, especially Kim. You get a chance to see her rear end on screen. Yep, you get a chance to see her, like, a lot of these girls without their clothes on because, well, the main focus characters of the series are all women. There's like a couple guys in the series, but they're just CIA. They're just, well, the version of the CIA, and they don't really do very much over the course of the series. I mean, there's some exposition stuff they do. Mostly, they're just there for exposition, and they participate in like a couple fights, and that's really, it's not. It seems like these characters were like wasted potential. It seems like they had some interesting ideas to do with these characters, but it seems like the writer just didn't know what to do with these 2 characters at all. Heck, even anime done what to do with them. Now, over the course of these 12 episodes, they adapt certain arcs from the manga. The first 3 episodes cover the first 5 chapters, the introduction arc. Excuse me. Episode 4 covers chapters 6 and 7. 5 to 8 covers 8 to 18, which is the Traders arc, which is actually the longest arc of the whole series. It's like 12 it's like 11 chapters. It's like quite long. Episode 9 is the Jolt arc, which covers a series of short stories published from chapters 20 to 34. Yeah, like there's this one chapter called That Night where Mimi is doing her sleepwalk. I think she did this also in the pilot as well, where because it's so hot, and I'm like, Death, can you please put some AC in this girl's dormitory? Yeah, that's the weird thing about this particular city. There's like no, there's like hardly any electricity. I mean, there's running water, but it seems like that it's like the concept AC to them is foreign, which is bizarre. Also, they do have one vehicle in the whole entire series, and it's a scooter. I'm not kidding, it's a scooter. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. They pretty much keep to how the manga depicts this particular story, where it's hot and Mimi, while she's sleepwalking, starts to undress. Yeah, at one point she's about to basically almost go completely butt naked. But like enough in the anime, they do change it where Tazumi pulls up Mimi's underwear because she takes it off, well, down to her knees. In the manga, she's basically virtually almost butt naked by the time that they finally calm her down. At one point in the anime, because this is a weird thing for the anime, this is a weird thing that she does. Apparently, she has a tendency, while she's sleepwalking, to crawl into Tatsumi's bed and sleep in the same bed with her. One time, she woke Tatsumi woke up next morning and Mimi is butt naked and dirty. Yeah, and as far as I know, this was never explained of what the heck she was doing. Oh yeah, and it turns out that the whole thing where sleepwalking and her forgetting things, yeah, she has things forget things. It turns out because she was under hypnotism the whole time. Also, the villain of the series, I think she's one of the Gorgon sisters. So I had to look her up here. She doesn't do very much of the course of the series. Yeah, that's one thing disappointing about this villain. She just doesn't do very much. Like, oh yeah, we have mind control. Let's just have these people do random things. I mean, her name is, let's see if I can find it here, Shala, voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell. I don't know who actually does anything. I don't know if she does anything else. I mean, they hint at her a lot, but she doesn't do anything into the series finale, which is a disappointment. At least Medusa was doing stuff in the actual series. And this is her younger sister, mind you, youngest of the three Gorgon sisters. And yet, here's something really weird. It seems like her whole thing is mind control and forcing students to attack people for no reason at all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Soul Eater or not. It's a great story. It's just that the problem with the series is even the manga had this problem too. The villain is weak. It's a weak villain. And she's not interesting at all. I mean, I love her look. Don't get me wrong, her look is amazing. Her plan is pretty much barely there. It's like, oh, let's have her mind control random students, because a lot of them are like no-name ones, except for a few of them, to attack random people for no reason. Yeah, this is something that kind of bothered me about the character. I mean, she's hot, and do we see her in a base operation like we did with Medusa? Nope, we barely see her half the time. It's like, oh, we see her walking by, or having Eternal Feather, that's her name, she got it from Kim, where she just brainwashes her to randomly attack people with a sting thing. I'm like, seriously? Okay, it's bizarre. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, in the pilot, and this is something now the way they set the show up is that the main character is at home in a regular home. It's a little different than how Soul Eater started out. Yeah, where it started off with 2 of the 7 main protagonists going on a mission. This one's like, okay, she can just randomly turn into a weapon. Like, okay, the mother's like, dinner's ready, and tells like, go get your brother. And all of a sudden, she's walking upstairs, she trips, and her foot turns into part of a weapon. So she's immediately set up the death to the DWA. Yep, she's set up there immediately. And she flies on a normal jet. So and here's something also really weird though. The way the city looks when you see the streets, it's like they're completely different in Soul Eater or not than they are in Soul Eater. It seems like in Soul Eater or not, it's a little more advanced of a city. In Soul Eater or not, it looks like something out of the 19th century, which is bizarre to say the least. And this series is supposed to take place 1 year before the events of the actual series. Also, the series does show how Sid died, because they mentioned in Soul Eater that he died at some point. So this is just a theory of mine that toward the end of Soul Eater or not, that's when the first three chapters of that's when the prelude chapters happened for Soul Eater. Yep. And for the most part, it was a good series. I mean, yeah, Kim is actually a little bit different than she is in Soul Eater. In Soul Eater, she doesn't in the anime she doesn't do very much at all. In the manga, she does a lot more because she's a witch. Yeah, it seems like they gave her more to do in Soul Eater not than they do in Soul Eater. Oh, and by the way, her first appearance in the Soul Eater anime is episode 32. This one she shows up in episode 1. Yeah, where she saves the main character from the housekeeper who wants to turn her to Mary. And she's got a hammer. Like Misery from the film. I have never seen Misery, though. The housekeeper's an okay character. A lot of the good characters are really interesting. Heck, Sid is the most interesting adult character in the whole series. The one character I'm a little surprised he didn't show up in this series. I'm like, it's a prequel series. Why not have this character show up? At least have him show up once in the actual series, and that's the Grim Reaper. Yeah, this is something really weird. He shows up in Soul Eater. I think he showed up like once or twice in Soul Eater Night manga. But in the anime, I mean, you see his image all over the place over the course of Death City. But yet, he doesn't show up in the anime, which I'm like, could they at least take time to do that? I mean, they have the main 7 protagonists of the Soul Eater series. They had Ox show up for like a few episodes. He doesn't do very much. I mean, his most noteworthy thing was paying back the main character of the series for Kim stealing her money for saving her life. Yeah, after that, he didn't pop up again. I mean, occasionally, I think he popped up like quick little cameos, and then you have good fighting scene in the series finale. Excuse me. And that's really it for him. Yeah, as for Frankenstein, he only appeared for roughly 2 episodes, and actually it was more like 2 or 3 episodes, and he didn't do very much at all. It seems like he functions as the Emmy. Oh yeah, they do mention Medusa. Yeah, she's referenced several times over the course of the series. And this is another character who does not make a physical appearance in the series. I'm like, okay, you mentioned her, but you don't have her show up, which is bizarre. I mean, this is before they found out Medusa was a witch. Could they at least have her make a cameo or have her like interact with the main characters? Nope. I guess not. So that's 2 characters who appeared in the original series who does not show up in this prequel one, and there's no explained reason why. I mean, yet. So the only characters who appear both in Soul Eater and Soul Eater Not are Sid, though he's alive at this point. You have Dr. Stein, Maka, Soul, Blackstar, Tabaki, Def the Kid, Liz, Patty, and that's it. Oh yeah, and Liz and Patty. Oh yeah, I think it's about close to about 15 characters who appear from the original Soul Eater series from this one, and Liz and Patty are practically the only one of the main 7 who actually get some character development, and they're the only ones who actually do anything in this whole series. Which I'm like, okay, I get the fact that the rest of the cast are not the main characters of the series. Could at least have them do something. I mean, Maka did something interesting up in the pilot when she showed up with what she and Soul can do as Meister and Weapon. And after that, well, she didn't do very much after that. I mean, you have her complaining to Soul in another episode. Then you have her selling stuff in the flea market. Have her briefly fight, and then she disappears again. Doesn't pop up again until the series finale. Also, her first appearance in the series is basically rescuing the main character's luggage from falling down the stairs. And apparently, the stairs are huge and partial illusion, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really bizarre. But at least Maka is just there to be just a mentor. And this is set a year before the actual series. Oh, and if you want to think of 2 characters who really do nothing this whole series, not even just barely interact with the main characters, it's Blackstar and Tabaki. Tabaki, I think she gets maybe 1 or 2 lines of dialogue the whole series. And now, okay, I get the fact this is not their series. Fine. Could you at least give these two something to do instead of just show up for a quick cameo? At least Ox managed to do something. He managed to do some fighting. Yeah, and he actually managed to interact with the main characters for more than just one episode, or at least share screen time with them. Yep. Oh, and I looked up to see how old Blackstar was at this point. He was 12. Yep, 12 years old. And in the main series, he's 13. When the series ended in the manga, he was 14. Tabaki, since it's a year before the actual main series, since at the start of Soul Eater, she's supposed to be 16. So that means this is when she's actually 15 years old. So that kind of means that she is 3 years older than our partner, which is nothing unusual. I mean, look at Death the Kid. He appeared for 2 episodes. I mean, his first appearance, aside from a brief flashback, was interact with the main character, where he fixed her hair to be symmetrical, and then after that, he disappeared, never showed up again in the series, until he showed up briefly in the series finale. Yep. But hey, at least he interacted with the main character more than once. Unlike Blackstar, who didn't do pretty much jack frickin' squat. At least Patty and Liz managed to do something in the series. And at least they have characters like Kim and Jacqueline got a good development of their relationship as friends, which you gotta appreciate the series for doing that. And it's completely unknown if now I don't remember this mentioning in the actual like Soul Eater manga where apparently Jacqueline was attracted to Kim. Now I get the fact Kim is a smoking hot woman, and giving all the fan service for her and the rest of the characters was interesting. I think she's not even the only one, basically, where we get a chance to see this character without their clothes on. As a matter of fact, the main 3 characters in the series finale, at one point, they're all seen butt naked. Yeah, this series has got more fan service than the main series. Otherwise, though, besides all the fan service and the development of these characters, I would probably say that the 3 main characters are good for Soul Eater or not. I kind of wish they showed up in Soul Eater. I did look it up. Apparently, the main character, I completely forgot her name. Her name is Tsugumi. Yeah, apparently she pushed up for a cameo in Chapter 99. So that was her first appearance in the Soul Eater series, and yet she does nothing, which is bizarre. Like, I don't know, maybe. Oh, they do mention that all 3 main characters in the pilot episode are all 14 years old. Interesting. So that means at the start of Soul Eater, they're probably 15, and by the end of the series, by the time it's they're probably 16. Oh, they do keep out one thing from the actual series, because during the time when Mimi and Anya were away, Tsugumi got another partner. So she's got 3 Meisters that she's a weapon to, which is interesting. Which makes her the first character in the whole entire franchise to have more than 1 Meister. At one point, she was having her 2 Meisters. Now, the reason why she did this because she didn't want to separate her. She didn't want to choose between 2 friends, and she wanted to keep both of them as friends. So she has both of them. Okay, yeah. But all in all, good series. I do recommend it, plus the manga. But if you can pass out the fan service, I think for guys, they probably would enjoy seeing all the fan service in the whole series. They probably would too, especially the anime. They probably enjoy it all. Alright, so that's it for this particular one. I don't think I'm doing any more Soul Eater videos, unless, of course, that, well, let's say if somehow that Soul Eater gets a remake and they stick more closer to the manga, but who knows. But this is probably the last one I'm going to do for Soul Eater, because next anime I'm going to start up is Shaman King. Yeah, I'm finally going to do that one next. Now, the reason why I'm going to do that one, because the writer of the series was a student of the writer of Shurikenshin, because, well, you have Oda, you have the writer of Toriko, and the writer of Shaman King, where they're all mentored by the writer of Shurikenshin. So I kind of figured out why not check out the series, and I like the series. So I might check out the anime. Alright, bye, see you in the next video. Bye.